Afterwards, I'm Vordy, and joined by me is Doomsday, the one and only, the GOAT of casting, longtime caster. But yeah, we're gonna have a True up against, let's see here, I think Jashin, and it should be an interesting matchup. We have Seed 16 going up against Seed 8, a pretty tough matchup for True, but I think they have enough tricks in the bag that they can get some pretty good points here. I think there's some pretty good maps for them. But yeah, how are you going, Doomsday? How are you feeling about this one?
I'm doing good, Vordy. Thanks for having me on as well on SSOT this year. It should be an interesting matchup. I think there's some good fights between these two teams. As you mentioned, it's a tricky one, I think, for True. And I guess with it being in a dicey part of the bracket, right? They're fighting for their lives here in losers bracket, I believe. So it's going to be a tough one, but they have some strong players, some strong players from Ukraine around Eastern Europe that have done really well in tournaments the last couple of years, and some good hard-hitting underdogs as well. So this isn't a new bit of territory for some of the players on True to have to punch a bit above their weight here. So I'm expecting a good fight from them.
Yeah, I think it's really going to come down to, there was some notable players that were missing in their first match. I'm thinking about players like Rafji, Handsome, Desuk, Odesk. I think if those players are here and ready to go, like 100%, this can be a very, very close match because there are some really heavy hitters on Jashin that'll likely want to play into mechanics. But before we get into this matchup, I think we gotta go through some of the matches we've seen so far. So starting with, I think, the losers bracket matchups we've seen today, and notably there was one really, really good matchup. I'm thinking about Gort versus Watson that went to TB.
That was a proper one. Sadly, I missed that one live, to be honest. I had to check that out afterwards. But yeah, there's been some really good matches in the early rounds so far in this tournament. It's been really good to see some of the close fights, even in the early rounds, not just this week, but last week as well. Because sometimes the early rounds, you get those sort of top versus bottom matchups that could be blowouts, but some really good competition in the early rounds, and it's only going to get tighter once those seedings get closer, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, because a lot of these teams are really stacked, as you mentioned, there were some pretty obviously strong performances from the big teams. But as well, I think I casted Sweden sweep versus Stockfish, and that was like seed 4 versus 13. But Sweden sweep, the full French team winning 6-3 was pretty wild. So now obviously they're still in Riz bracket. And we also saw the two other matches so far, weren't as close. Wait, were goated, winning 6-2 against Bunny Battalion. Stockfish, I think Stockfish winning 6-1 against Koyori's Nazgul makes sense. Stockfish seed 4 team, I don't think they're really meant to be in the losers bracket this early, and they seemed a lot more ready today or yesterday, and played really, really well. And we also got to see, I'm Korean too, one of the favorites of this tournament, just play to their ability, winning 6-0, having some insane performances, including a nice remote control FC by worst HR player.
Worst HR player is, he just doesn't have a bad game, does he? It's ridiculous. Having a player on that team means you have a chance to get to pretty much anybody, so I'm not surprised to see him doing well in SSOT. You got to put in a word though for Koyori's Nazgul though. That's such a rough draw to draw Stockfish first round in the losers bracket.
Yeah, that is tough.
Team as well. It was closer than what it looked, I think, from what I saw of the match. In terms of 6-1's a bit of a harsh scoreline for them, but yeah.
I think 100%. It was the toughest draw of the losers bracket of the other teams that they could have gone on. That was a tough one, just with the star power you have, and I do think Stockfish has some really good specialists that benefit from this format. With it's lower team size maps. Notably players like Badu who can sort of solo like certain gimmick skill sets. But I think that'll be it for the review of the matches. But yeah, today we have 4 more matches. This is going to be the last losers bracket matchup, True versus Jashin. But then afterwards, we're going to have later today all of the winners bracket matchups, a lot of the heavy hitter teams going up against each other. But yeah, going back to this matchup, I do think this is going to be a tough one for True just because of the star players on Jashin. But assuming all of their players are ready, I think if they lean into the gimmickier skill sets, I think they'll have a pretty good time.
Yeah, and there's a good amount in the pool as well to work with on that side. Especially plenty of ults as well, lots of ult dotted around the pool. So there's plenty for them to work with. I guess the question is, in a best of 11, right, how far it can take them. But as I mentioned, I mean, you underestimate some of the players on Team True at your peril, man. It's from what I've seen of them before. This is not the first rodeo in a sort of underseeded matchup. But I'm just excited to see how much they bring to the table when they need a result or they're going out. Should be an exciting 100%. One, I think.
And especially, I still don't think the pool is hard enough just yet for a lot of the players on True to be, outscaled to a significant degree. I think they'll still have a decent amount of comfort enough to put up a really good fight. And then also later on, we'll have the winners bracket matchups. Are there any that really catch your eye? I think notably, I'm looking at Seed 3 versus Seed 6. I think that's probably the closest seeding on paper. Also, Sweden Sweep, let's see if they can continue their magic run against EMPATHS. But then Suntan versus Grease Monkey is going to be... Suntan is just an insane team.
Easily one of the favourites to win it, Suntan. With a lot of the matches left being some of those winners bracket matchups, right? They're going to have a lot of power to them. But yeah, there's a couple of matches to come up for sure. Sweden Sweep. At first, I thought that was a Sweden team and ended up being a French team. But if they can keep a solid run going on, it'd be awesome to see some of those players have a good tourney run for Team Sweden Sweep incoming.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, going through the quality results for the players in our match today. As mentioned before, Seed 16 versus Seed 8, so a pretty decent gap. I think notably, as we talked about, the aim control, the ult that True picked into in their first match with the players they did have. And it makes sense considering they're 6 overall and hidden 3, the sort of aim control hidden in the qualities pool. You have, I think, the ult and I think the tech hard rock they did pretty well on, which I think will be good, just because Jashin will likely want to pick into hard rock mechanics and probably speed mostly. That's going to be their biggest strong suit. Just mechanics overall is what Jashin's going to want to pick up. True having that decent hard rock inclination, if they can get a breakpoint on one of the hard rocks, is going to be absolutely massive for them. But yeah, there's a good amount of aim control in the pool. But you look at the players on Jashin. You have Psy-Q, Kyujin, Xylus, Welter, Aimbot Cone, Spectre, Coda, and Gamer. Like lots of really, really high mechanical players.
Yeah, you mentioned about the pool not being so hard that the skill ceiling of some of those star players is going to be too crazy in a matchup like this, but it's still high enough that it's going to be a threat. So it's going to be a tough one if they go into those matchups, particularly on some of the mechanics picks that are higher play count. So Jashin can sort of bring in more of those players, right? There's a couple like that, but it's not something that's going to carry Jashin through all of the matchup, but it's going to be a big threat, I think, for Team True. The big 4v4 aim, I think, in the number 1 as well. Number 4, sorry, I should say. Things like that. Yeah, it'd be a tough one for True to take.
Yeah, there's actually a good amount of aim maps with the higher play counts, or higher team sizes. I think you have Nomad 4, which is the Nomad aim map. You have Hidden 4, which is like it's a bit higher BPM, but it's pretty comfortable aim. You also have Hard Rock 3, so that's a team size 3, and that's a pretty good aim map. So lots of aim in the bigger team sizes, which I think will be pretty good for Jashin. But at the same time, True has some pretty seasoned tourney players, which I think, for example, like I believe a Handsome Me, being ranked 1000 is a scam. He's an insane player. Raf GPO, Zestash played I think quite a lot of the last match as well as 3BDO. So hopefully we'll see them again. But yeah, Desk as well, like insane player. Hopefully we get to see him in this match, Endura and Shinkiro. So yeah, we'll have to see if everybody's ready to go. It can be tough sometimes in these international tournaments with such a wide array of time zones to get everybody ready to go, but hopefully we see it.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Of course you want to try and get the full teams against each other if possible. I guess it's kind of early time for EU, I guess. Well, I'm sure if it was going to be an issue, they could have looked at it before. So fingers crossed. That should be okay. But yeah, I think, as you mentioned, though, those players are very well seasoned, and the diff range is in a good range for them, comfort-wise. So really, maybe if we got a bit further in the tournament, it would be trickier. But it's at a good range. Maybe a little bit high for a couple of them, but we'll see if they can bring it today.
Yeah, and especially, when it comes to Jashin, like on their tapping skill set, something like the no mod 2 is going to be so good for them. I anticipate it probably gets banned out, like almost 8-star no mod 2. I think somebody like Psyche is going to have a great time on that. You know, you have several really good tapping players on Jashin who could crush that, and I don't know if there's that many players on True who can play to that mechanics level, but you know, you'll have some maps that are going to be pretty favored for Jashin, but we'll see. I think as the pool thins out, it's going to be closer towards the ending.
Right, yeah. I think the bans are going to be pretty interesting. I mean, I guess on the side of Team True, right, of course they're going to be going into those mechanics, but what side of the mechanics do they go?
Yeah.
Whether it's going into some of that aim stuff. I mean, the No Mod 4, the big old aim boy, which would be a 4v4, is a tough one, but do you go into something like that? Do you take the chance on a 4v4, or would you go for something on like a lower play count side of things, for the side of the aim side of things for Team True?
I reckon they take the chance on the No Mod 4 and probably ban out something like No Mod 2 DT1, honestly.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because the DT1 is straight up just full speed mechanics, right? It's in a 1v1, yeah. Yeah, Jashin but sticking to their best speed player, and in 1v1 it's going to be pretty hard for them to take that one. I think I agree. I think the No Mod 4, it's high SR, but with it being a no mod map, if it was in like one of the mod categories, like if it was in a hidden or a hard rock on a high play count, maybe it would have been a better choice. But I reckon the No Mod 4 is a better chance than the DT1 speed.
Yeah. I think there's always a hope to win a No Mod 4 or like just an aim map in general. But sometimes on the tapping maps, when you are outscaled to some extent, there's not as much chance. So yeah, stuff like the DT, and especially there's a good amount of tapping. Like DT1, DT3, and DT4 are all pretty tapping heavy. Like they're pretty much pure tapping in just different variations. So Jashin will have a lot to pick from here.
Certainly, there's plenty of ult though for Team True to pick into, but some of the other gimmick stuff, I do wonder with Jashin having a lot of their aim players, I wonder how much of the gimmick stuff they're going to be banning. But we're going to find out, because I believe things are kicking off, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Things are kicking off.
I think we'll be heading into the match now.
Let's go. It is time. Players are ready to go.
Yeah, I think Jashin obviously having a tough match to start with. I think they were up against the Korean team, so obviously not an easy start at all. But they're going to be looking to have a good run in the losers bracket. I think as the seed 8, as I think the second highest seed in the losers bracket, other than Stockfish, of course. They're looking to come with a vengeance, I think, after that loss.
Yeah, they'd need to. They would need to. Let's have a little look.
Yeah, I think as we mentioned, I think the bans are going to be, as we said, so I think True is going to want to ban out the tapping maps, stuff like DT1, No Mod 2, DT3, DT4 even are not bad options. And then Jashin is just going to want to ban whatever they think True will be comfortable on. So I think good options for them to ban are maybe Hidden 2, the aim control hidden. You have, to some extent, they'll take their chances on a Hard Rock 1, even though it is aim control alt. It's really difficult, and because it's a 1v1, they can put one of their star players on it and have a good time. And also, I think Free Mod 4 is also not a bad ban, considering what True will likely want to pick into.
I see a Free Mod 4, it's a large circle size ult map, right? The Free Mod has quite a lot of like ulti style things, right? I think the Free Mod 1 comes into that as well. But with it being, the 1v1 pick, it's a bit more of an even option, I suppose, in a matchup like this.
Yeah, the 1v1's going to be interesting. You never know as well if one of the players on True are feeling good on playing with Rui. I mean, that's just such a maybe one of the hardest maps in the pool, I want to say, to actually get an FC on. 4 minutes of it's very difficult in terms of star rating, but the gimmick nature of it makes it even harder than it seems. And it's also free mod, which means you need a mod, which means you need to play it hidden or hard rock, right? And that is an entirely different beast.
All right, yeah, was that the playing with Ruby? Yeah, that's a nasty one. I say it's so long as well as being mechanically intensive. With it being the 1v1, like you mentioned, you just stick your star player on there who's can rock that stuff, and both these two teams have that player that could do damage on that. It's one of the things I really like about the format with changing the team sizes. It really changes the dynamic of a lot of these maps, particularly the super gimmicky, harder skill set maps, I suppose, with the pool. So I'd love to see that one played here.
Yeah, for sure. And because of the nature of the bans in this format, there's no bans out the gate. Both teams get guaranteed at least one map to pick no matter what. And then once both teams win a point, we'll get into the first set of bans. But Jashin and True are both going to have their pick of whatever they want from the pool, which I always kind of like. I always thought the system reminds me of Protects that I think originally saw in ANZT for the first time. But I really like the idea of having you guarantee have your chance to shine on your best skill set, which I think is really cool. It is going to be, I think, True to pick first. Looks like.
It's looking like it, yeah. So True, the underdog team, going to be kicking things off here with the picks. And you'd imagine they would be going straight into something control-y, maybe even something ulti. Start things off here.
I'd even imagine if they have Desuk and Odesk and Handsome Me on board. I think they're really good at tech, if I remember correctly. I think there's some really good tech players as well. So if they have those players, I think some of the tech in this pool. Nomad 1's an interesting one because it's basically a very, very difficult tech map on the 1v1.
Yeah.
To go for the hidden one, interesting. So the hidden flow aim.
Straight into that hidden one. 1v1 as well. So yeah, I was about to ask about whether they would have test the waters on something gimmicky 1v1, but that's where they're going to be going. Not the Nomad one though, the side tech map. Yeah, raw flow aim. This is very much like the sort of map you may see on Nomad in the flow aim style, but with it on hidden, changes things quite a lot with the flow aim. And the question is, who do we see on Team Jashin to take on some of the gimmick masters, I suppose, on Team True?
If I had to guess, assuming everybody is there, I would probably imagine, I think, somebody like Xylus to play a map like this. Just because I know Xylus has the combination of being really good at flow aim and also he has that hidden comfort. I don't know if Psyche will be as comfortable on the hidden, despite him probably being the best raw flow aim player on the team. I'm not sure he's as comfortable on the hidden. We'll see though. Yeah, we do see Xylus in the lobby, I believe, and we have Desk on the side of True, so this is going to be a pretty high level one we want to start off with. But yeah, as you mentioned, hidden flame, very awkward. I think there's some awkward acceleration and deceleration, so it's going to be tough to hold on to a combo here.
It's a tricky one as well. It is mostly sort of standard flow aim flow, but it's got a couple other USPs to it. Not to mention that for the last quarter or so, it turned into a ult jump map.
Yeah. But this is True's first pick, so they really want to win it here. Early break from Desuk though. Odesk and Silas holding on. I do think he'll be pretty good on a map like this. Oh, I think we have the... Yep, okay, it's back.
There we go. It's a very early break really from Desuk, splitting the two up on these first flow aim patterns. But it's early on. This map is long enough, and I guess with the start being consistent, you have time to build things up if you can get that comfort back. It just seems like one little slip from Desuk. Against Xylus though, it's a tough ask. He's a hidden god, and you wouldn't put it past him to carry on with this run. Never mind.
Let's find a break though.
Sorry, buddy.
And that's massive for True. Desuk can hold. Oh, unfortunately, does find a similar break to Xylus. I think just one of the slider jumps. Now Xylus with the score advantage. Pretty even on combo now, but slight act advantage as well. I think, as you mentioned, there's some potential with the alt ending and with some of the harder flow aim streams. You could get some chain misses. Xylus does find another break, and that gives Tesk an opening. Oh, never mind.
That's a big chain miss there from Dasuke, though. Quite a bit of score lost. Combos back with Xylus by just a little bit. There's not too much in it, though, but there's some big chain misses coming out from Dasuke now. He's dropping quite a few now. It's looking pretty grim unless he can get something together real quick.
Oh man, it's such a this skill set can be so rough sometimes. Hidden flow aim. It's like if you're not feeling it, if the stars aren't aligned, you can get some really rough chain misses. Xylus hitting the aim in this outro, but I mean, I think with the score lead and no combos on the board, I don't know if the Su can do much, especially with the AC drops to really recover from this.
Nah, this is looking pretty signed sealed. I think we've got the jumpy section at the end to go, really. I guess that means that the note count's quite low as well.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It was a good start from Dasuke, though, but just couldn't quite keep that aim consistency down, and Xylus, with that low miss count, just the 5 misses on those patterns. Very solid stuff for the first map here for Team Jashin, no doubt.
Yeah, it's
Very
always
solid
the worry going into these 1v1 maps against a team this stacked. With players who are at this level, you have to not just play to your strengths, but really perform in the moment, because they will have players who can match, and that's what Xylus showed. And yeah, starting off the match with a nice break point for them and going to their first pick, I'm sure they'll have something that'll be pretty decisive in nature.
Yeah, taking that break point back, that's the perfect start, really. Now then going to get into some of those mechanics, presumably. Unless they fancy doing something a little bit different, I highly doubt it. There's plenty to work with in their own skill set. The question is, which one do they pick? They do have a bit of a choice. I don't think they're going to go into that no mod aim map, not first. That'll be a later pick if it appears, I'd imagine. It's probably going to be something in that DT pool, I'd wager.
Yeah, I mean, I think... Yeah, there it is, the DT1 black or white. And I think, honestly, you can just put Xylus here again. Like, he's feeling good on the 1v1s, has that momentum, and he's going to be, I would say, even more comfortable on a map like this, for sure. But there's actually, I mean, plenty of players who can play the Psyche as well. He'll be pretty good on this, if he's in the lobby. Yeah, they have their pick here of tapping demons.
Yeah, well, Psychu's, I guess, pulled the... I mean, it's not the short straw in it. I imagine he's super happy to play something like this. Yeah. I can only imagine True would have really, really wished they could get rid of this, but they're stuck with facing Psychu on this one. We'll see, though. It's a short map. It's not very long, but it is extremely fast and rather high star rating. A steal on this would be incredible. I'm all down to see it, but it's a big ask.
It is a big ask. I think Psyche was a player who, I think originally, when I first heard of him, just really, really good on stamina, really good on flow aim, but then I think over the course of a year just became an insane high BPM speed player, and is now, you know, just proficient at all things tapping. So yeah, I think the 270 range is normally something most players aren't too good with, but yeah, Psyche definitely good on this. But we'll see, it can Endura make some magic happen. I think the map is still accessible enough that if you just have the tapping mechanics, you can get by. See some early struggles, especially on the accuracy. I think both players finding some act drops in the beginning.
Yeah, both players having a relatively tricky start at the start of this, but plenty of time to warm up into it. Very even opening here. Some combo gaming happening from Psyche, though, which could make all the difference in the map this short.
Yeah, but those breaks from Endura, Psyche holding on and slowly building that accuracy back up. I think just having some chain 100s at the beginning, but seems to have figured it out. And keep in mind, this is a 1v1, so if this is, you know, potentially True's best tapping player, then I think if you're Jashin, you just pick all the tapping maps after this. like 100%.
Yeah, it's looking pretty one-sided. Endura's giving it a go, but certainly it's looking like a bit of a mismatch. I mean, you can see how hard this map is, though. Even Psyche is down below 90% on this, though.
BPM
Even though it
is
is so
just
short.
so high, but yeah, does get a solid win. 400k, you know, like not as maybe high as I expected from Psyche, but still obviously more than enough. And I mean, I think with that, I think one of the benefits of opening with the 1v1 tapping map is you get a gauge of their best tapping player. And from there, you know, you have the confidence now to pick every single tapping map without restraint until all of them are gone from the pool.
Yeah, they know they have that. There's that fountain to drink from this match. But we'll only see how it goes. True with the next pick, but I believe they'll have a chance to get rid of a map now.
I can't remember if the bans came after both teams have a point or if 2 maps are picked.
All right. Okay.
I think it might be if both teams have a point. Which no, I think it is the bans. Okay, there it is.
There we go. Okay, so at least then True's going to have a chance to get rid of one of those speed picks.
Yeah, for sure.
They have enough data to work off there for sure. But I'm more curious about the ban for Jashin, to be honest. Yeah,
okay,
no
so the tech
won.
map. Yeah.
Tech map is gone. Yeah, I think that's a decent ban, to be fair. I think it would have been a choice for True. No doubt.
I think, as we mentioned, other than that aim control, I think True has the... Okay, so banning out the AR8 hidden. Obviously a very polarizing skill set. I guess, yeah, True just not really being confident on the AR8. You obviously need 3 players for the hidden 3. And just looking at Jashin's team, I think regarding AR8, you have... I'm pretty sure Kyujin can play it, Xylus can play it, and I imagine they have at least one more player who's going to be confident on it. So yeah, if they're just not feeling good on the AR8, that's a fair ban.
I was kind of hoping to see that one, to be honest. I'm not biased at all. Totally not. Alright, number 3 then is next pick. Into some more speedy stuff. More on the tech side, more on the control side, more of the manageable side, I imagine, for a team like True. They're interesting that they picked it.
I am interested they picked it just because it is pretty speed heavy, but assuming that they have the tapping for it, they might win on the tech elements of this map, is maybe their logic here. Because I don't think the stamina gets too bad in this map, so if you just have the ability to play the requisite 245 for short bursts, and then you combo through the tech sections, yeah, this is potentially a good pick. I'm feeling good on this.
Really, I was looking at this one. I think the tech sections in it are fairly mild for what they are, but it kind of brings into focus that you can't mash through it. You do have to control yourself on these buzz sliders you have on the end of bursts here and there. It does get trickier with the control in the second half, though. As the map goes on, more of that tech creeps in. So I guess we'll see how it goes as the map gets underway.
And on the side of Jashin, as well, you have Psyche, Xylus, and a Welter. Some heavy hitters. All of these players are going to be super comfortable on the tapping. See, early break from Zestash.
It's been quite a long map as well. There's plenty of time for the players in the lobby to get their bearings as well. But it seems as though everyone is in a good spot in the first few patterns. Some good accuracies really across the board. And Zestash is starting to recover nicely too.
I mean, from the look of it, everybody's good on the tapping elements. I think it really does come down to getting any silly misses on the aim element of this map or on the slight tech elements of this map. Nobody getting slow slidered. That's good.
Psyche got slow slided, I think.
Oh, actually, no, he did. Yeah, what the hell? That's actually huge for True. But unfortunately, Endura also finding a drop, trading it. Now roughly 2-2 with Zestash's recovery.
again. Still very even, just the one break on either side. Accuracy doing a lot of work though for Jashin. But actually, Zestash he's locked in now. His accuracy is only going up. It was just the start he had issues with.
As we get deeper into this map, it's really all down to these big combos. But Zestash unfortunately finding a break, that pseudo FC, recovery for True doing so much. Now it's just the Sook up against 2 FCs from Xylus and Welter, and nice recovery from Xylus matching Endura. So it's gonna be tough. You need to find a break from either Xylus or Welter here.
It's a well-timed break, I suppose, as well, to bring that multiplier in for Jashin. We're not going to get too far away. We're getting into the techier section now. And if you have Desicate, you have a chance, it seems.
We'll see. Magic could happen if we see a break from Xylus and Welter. Desk holds. And Welter does find a break. Psyche as well, losing the recovery is actually huge. Now the combo advantage is in favor of True, as Endura is still holding. And Desk is obviously matching Xylus. Some insane accuracies as well from these players.
That's crazy. You know what? Something could happen here. Endura is well back in this now. The section coming in now. There's not much of the map left to go. But that is getting pretty damn close now, 40, I think.
I think the score lead should flicker in a moment to True, and there it goes. Desk still holding. Unfortunately breaking on the slider tick, I think. And Xylus holds on. Endura, though, is there with the huge recovery. There's still a chance if Xylus breaks, but the combo advantage is going to be on the side of Jashin.
Yeah, it's that big 1v1 now for these fat last kick sliders. But Xylus is just not giving an inch here.
Yeah, I think out of all the players on Jashin, I think he's the most, complete in terms of both his ability to play these kind of gimmickier, techier maps and play the speed. Such a lethal combo on a map like this. But there's still a chance. Xylus could still break. As Endura holds on.
It's just not happening.
Oh man.
It's kind of crazy here from Xylus. What is he doing?
The recoveries are there for True, but if Xylus doesn't break, there's going to be no chance. Welter finds the drops out of Zestash, but Xylus with a huge FC, winning them the point by like 50k. Huge effort from Xylus, and obviously a really good pick for True. I mean, Desk and Endura both getting an S rank. They're obviously very comfortable. Zestash as well, playing it fairly well, but just not much you can do up against a full combo like that on a map. That, long and consistent over 2,000 combo.
No, there really isn't. As you mentioned it, Xylus just has the skill sets put together for a map like that. It's well built for him. You got to give props to Endura, though, who did really well then. Just the early break, held 99% as well. A really good score by him as well, but small margins on that one, though. It was so close.
Yeah. I mean, with that, Jashin goes up 3-0 into their next pick. And I mean, I think it's going to be tough for True to find a breakpoint considering the DT1. But I think they'll be better on the more stamina heavy maps than the speed maps. Things like DT3 is 232, DT4 is 222, and No Mod 2 is 210. So considering that they looked pretty good on that 245, it might just be a really high BPM skill set that they lack on. But it's actually going to be Jashin leaning into their hard rock mechanics, picking the hard rock A map here, which I think was also the other route they could have gone other than the tapping.
Yeah, I think it's a good shout for him. Something a bit different from what we've seen as well, to try and sort of mix up the opponents a little bit. You have seen their players that get really warm on the speed. I do agree, actually, the remaining DT picks actually look a lot better for True now, going into this game later, but that's for later.
Hard rock game, it's a relatively accessible skill set, but I do think just the raw mechanics on the side of Jashin going to really help when it comes to holding these big combos. We'll see if, because I do think True has aim players who will be at least comfortable on a map like this, but whether or not they can hold through all the way, it's going to be seen. 3 minutes, over 7 stars, hard rock aim, so plenty of chances to find a silly break.
I think the way the difficulty sort of spread through this map a little bit kind of brings it into focus, right? It's not a super consistent high spacing map. You have like areas of, I guess, relatively lower spacing, and then you have the choruses where things step up a lot in terms of the mechanical side of things. Even though it is mapped by Wafer, this map is fairly comfy in style. So yeah, it is all about those mechanics, not really control, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, for sure. Just pure mechanics, which is the two skill sets Jashin's going to get going into: aim mechanics and speed mechanics, just tapping mechanics. We'll see. I mean, on the side of True, we have Desk, Zestash, and Shinkira. I think they'll be 100% good enough to put some solid scores. And with a skill set like this, you could be a really good hard rock game player and still find a silly couple breaks, get 400k. You have a miracle run. FC, you know, there's always a chance for a map like this, especially with Xylus being the first to break early on.
I'm a little bit surprised not to see Raf GPO in here for Team True. I wonder if he's around to play, since it is, I guess, relatively early, I guess, for EU players. Not in for this one, though. His team's got his back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Rafchi is like standout hard rock player, normally takes the hard rock and free mods for Team Ukraine in various cups. Yeah, may potentially not here if he's not playing this one. But I mean, so far the players on the side of True are looking pretty comfy, all holding through in the intro here. But as you mentioned, this is a bit of a diff spiky map, and once you get into the first KI section, I think this is where we're going to see the bulk of the breaks. Here we go.
Here's where things kick up a notch, or 3. Big spacing coming in here, and still a lot of combo on the field to change things over. There's a trade. 2 breaks actually on Team True, which is 1 FC left.
And that's gone as well.
Man, that first section really destroying True here. Just the 1 combo left though from Team Jashin, so they're not going to get too far away. Just Welter there.
Yeah, I mean, the score lead isn't that dramatic. It's really all up to Welter holding through, but I mean, now we're back into the quiet section again. So this is going to be Welter's opportunity to build up some combo, build up some score, to really solidify this lead. On the side of True, you got some recoveries building up. Welter finding a break on seemingly nothing. And now that gives True the opening. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Well, he's broke, so that's a window of opportunity. There's combo here for Deske. He's against Xylus, though, who's already had a good game.
Xylus does find a break. It's now Desk with the biggest combo in the lobby. But I think those misses on the side of True are damaging their scoreline, especially with that break from Desk. The score lead is now back in favor of Jashin, and with Psyche holding through, not much time left in the map.
Both teams really struggling to get a combo through these difficult sections. The combo's back with True, but there's not much of the map left. There's not that much combo, really. There's the break, so now there really isn't a chance. It might just be enough here for Jashin.
Yeah, I think barring some insane chain misses from Josh, and I don't think there's enough time to build up enough combo to take this one back for True. I mean, 2 really close maps back to back, both this Hard Rock 3 and the No Mod 3. True had really a good chance on both. And once again, Josh narrowly winning out their own pick here.
Welter really, I think, was the difference maker. FCing that first diff spike was the map there. Comboing through that was just enough to give him the W there. So good stuff there from Welter.
I still wish I saw what he missed on. It would have been an absolute nothing pattern. Like, it might have even been something like adjusting grip on a pattern you think you absolutely cannot miss, but still obviously doing enough, getting the number 1 score in the lobby.
Yeah, it must have been on like a slider. It's unfortunate, but job was done.
Yeah.
He did his job.
A win is a win. Now it's going to
You
be
get him.
true to pick again, and depending on the outcome of these next two maps, this could be their last chance, so gotta go out with a bang here and pick your best stuff if you really want to keep this match going.
Yeah, they gotta go with something comfy. They gotta go with something to get themselves, I guess, mentally back into this, because at the moment it's been an uphill struggle, and that's how it's looked. They have to whip out a pocket pick here to make something happen, surely. And it's gonna be the hidden 2.
Oh yeah, okay. This is I think right up their alley.
Yeah, I like this. Ulti, techie, pure gimmick. And it's low player count, so then get the specialists in for it.
Yeah, I think this is the skill set. They perform pretty well on qualies. And yeah, this type of hidden aim control. You have Zestash, I think, really likes the skill set. Dusk as well. But on the other side, you have Xylus notably. I think Xylus really good on this type of stuff as well, these hidden aim control maps. But I wonder if they have a good second for it. You have Welter, obviously Welter just a really, really good overall player. But if I had to wager, I would say this is one of his least comfortable skill sets. Normally imagine him on things like DT, speed, aim mechanics, even tech potentially, but this type of hidden aim control, we'll see how he holds up.
He's versatile enough to be a good fill, but yeah, I'd wager true chances on this one, honestly, in this lineup. Zestash is back in, and in his last appearance he had a nice little run. He's got his bearings now after playing a couple maps. Tatakae, I think, has been the standout so far, for the most part, for Team True. So I think this is a really good setup to try and get some sort of foothold into this game, and with this map basically just being all about control, not much in terms of mechanics here. It's all about control on like snappy ult patterns, stops and starts, things like that.
Yeah. And then it has a bonkers slider section at the end, where, hitting the slider ends are kind of just bonus. Like, I think you just kind of hit the starts, because I think the bulk of the star rating probably just comes from the slider patterns.
Yeah, I think it is all just the sliders, because they're like screen.
Yeah.
High SV, just screen sliders.
They're like Oshama scramble sliders, like that level of just insane speed you have to go through.
I don't remember. I don't think they have slider ticks, so you can just hit the starts, right?
Yes, yeah. I don't recall slider ticks, so if a player is really feeling it, they could go for the extra score on the accuracy, but I think realistically you just hit the slider starts.
I think that's like bonus points, that is, if you get those. I'm not sure it's really worth the risk.
No, I think the risk of losing your combo trying to go for the slider ends is outweighed.
Just play it like a jump and move on. That's the strat.
Pretty much.
Who needs slider heads in 2024? Or slider ends in 2024?
I would like to see, I think there's a couple players who could give a good shot on the slider ends, like Malashevsky or CHR player. I'd love to see them play the ending of this map.
Oh yeah, I can imagine Malashevsky would be going for every slider end. Watching him play tech maps. I wouldn't blame the players if they choose to be economical with their aim on the sliders.
Yeah, for sure. Economical indeed. Getting into the map, obviously, as we did take a lot of the slider ends, but the bulk of this map is going to be the alt aim control here for the majority of it. It's really going to see the majority of the breaks as well. Everybody's aim looking crispy here.
I don't know if anyone's single tapping these, so I can't really tell.
Where
they're all hitting them.
I don't think anybody is. That would be baller though, but I think that is pretty straining.
It is a bit. I think it's like on the edge of like a realistic BPM for the fast single tappers.
I think we could do a little Welter though, finding a break in Xylus as well. That's both FCs gone from Jashin and traded by Zestash, so it's now only Desk left with a big combo. Unfortunately, finding a break on one of the sliders, I think. Oh, never mind, that was Bancho. He's still holding.
It's fine. Yeah, this guy's still got the FC. Bit more of this pattern to go though in this first half.
And here's where we get to see the theory about being economical with slider end aim, especially towards the ending. Desk and hold.
Really
This combo is everything for True right now.
Team Jashin have yak though. Nice ack from them, but yeah, the breaks. One break from Welter. I think a couple breaks from Xylus. Really just combo game making a difference here.
Oh, I think this the reverse slider catching out Desk. That's the combo gone, but there's a big score lead from that effort here. I can't tell if anybody's hitting those slider ends.
I think they're trying, but
Yeah.
missing them. It's a double break again though from Team Jashin, so I think that's going to confirm it. It's going to be the point for Team True here. Good pick.
A great pick. I think on paper this was their biggest asset in this matchup, this skill set, hidden aim control, and it paid off. Huge combo from Desk and a solid backing score from Zestash. That's exactly what they wanted, exactly what they needed to stay in this one.
Yeah, exactly what they needed. They couldn't afford to be having to fight back for 5-0. But a great pick. Really caught out Team Jashin there. Again, they had a high ack, but I guess, Tatakae being able to combo that first section really was the difference maker. Having that player there on the gimmicks, that's, I guess that's that comfy. But it was a strong combo game from him, pulling this team through there just when they needed it. Really good to see some fight back here.
There's honestly not a bad chance as well of maybe even getting a full combo. I think it was just a reverse slider leading into the slider diff spike that caught him out.
It was something like that. Just something silly just before the high SV sliders, wasn't it?
Yeah. Here we go. Jashin, unsurprisingly, picking the double time 3. Now, we did say that this is a better chance for True to take this one, but I think overall still, the tapping comfort from the side of Jashin. Expect to see something like Psy-Q, Welter, Xylus for this one. And then True probably going to be fielding similar players that they had on Normal 3. But we'll see, can they play the stamina required of this map? They have the BPM for this, but will their fingers be able to keep up?
Yeah, so the streams in this do get pretty long. I'm looking at the accuracies from a lot of their players on that No More 3 speed map. I reckon they'll be okay on this because their opponents are going to be stronger. I can see the 3 that Jashin field for this being super comfy or something like this. Maybe the doubles and like the even note burst, maybe the control might split them up. But yeah, I think it's still going to be a tricky one for True, but it's possible. It just comes down to how consistent Jashin are feeling right now.
Indeed. And yeah, as you mentioned, the finger control in a map like this can, even if you have the tapping for it, sometimes the variety of amount of notes you have to tap can trip you up and you might just end up under tapping a note and just due to the reading element of it and losing a combo that way. It's not always about just raw tapping with maps like this. Getting into it.
Here we go, absolute banger. Love me some Toho Yura beat.
Love
really fun map as well, this.
Indeed. Here we go. I think accuracies are going to tell a lot here. For comfort. Welter actually finding an early drop. Everybody getting wrecked by the accuracy in the intro, but it's just so hard to pick up the rhythm.
Yeah, you open up with the doubles like that, it's not friendly, it doesn't give you any time to adjust.
Zestash
there.
Over tapping on that note, I think. Seemingly looking caught off by the reading element of the finger control. Welter finding another break, but still Psy-Q and Xylus holding on, matched by Endurin and Desk though.
even starts. Game being won a little bit by Team Jashin. There's a break from Jura though, followed up by
Oh,
Desk.
everybody!
They're all gone.
Devastating for True. Saikyu and Xylus are still looking unfazed, and Welter recovering.
In the control section that caught out Team True there. It might have been.
And now, for any chance of a breakpoint, it would take an absolute miracle. With the score leader already being, I think, past the 400k mark in Xylus and Saikyu. Showing no signs of dropping. I think that's just going to be a nice, secure point for Jashin.
Yeah, they can just take this one home. They were on the speed there, a bit more control at the end. It's going to be nice and cozy in the end, though. Just a little bit to go, but that score lead is pretty unassailable at this point. I guess just seeing how high the accuracy gets there. Xylus rocking 95 and relatively climbing on this.
There's going to be no FCs in the end. Saikyu and Xylus both dropping near the end, but this is already almost a doubled scoreline for Jashin. And they have no worries about taking this one. I mean, you still as well, you have Nomad 2 as an option, you have DT4 as an option. Only one of those will be able to get banned, so they still all, have a tapping map guaranteed left.
Yes, have plenty to work with now, but is match point confirmed now for Team Jashin. 5-1. But when there's a will, there's a way, Vordy. It's not over yet. And Team True, looking at how that last pick for them went, there's still some stuff in the pool they can really get stuck into, I think.
Yeah, I think notably Free Mod 4 is catching my eye here. But, there is going to be the next stage of bans, so Jashin could potentially just wipe out that Free Mod 4 from the pool, not let True play what they want. And other than that, maybe you go for something like Free Mod 1, Pure Ruby, and just pray that you have your best player, maybe somebody like Desk, get a huge combo and carry that one.
The way he's been playing, he's been playing very well so far here, Desk, but I guess there's a lot of pressure to put on him, really. But we'll see. There's
they take it out!
Yep, Femod 1
no.
is gone. I really wanted to see that too. Why are you going to do this to us? Come on.
I actually do think that was probably True's best map, just because Desk, considering the Hidden 3, might be the most, or Hidden 2 I mean, might be the most comfortable aim control player in this lobby right now, and the 1v1 potential was there, but Free Mod 4, despite being a good skill set for them, I think Jashin's roster size will be able to fill out those players a bit better, but it is going to be the DT4 gone, unsurprisingly, but no Mod 2 is still an option for Jashin. We'll see what True picks first.
Where did they go? I mean, did they go into one of the other ulti-style things in Free Mod? They can't get the Free Mod 1. I suppose the Free Mod 4 is an option, but I guess then you're opening up to a full 4v4. They're going to go for the 2v2 option in Free Mod, though. So this one's, I guess, it's aimy, but it's like gimmicky aimy sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like really dense aim. I think the Hard Rock players being able to make this AR-10 is going to make this a lot more comfortable, but I do think you need a Hard Rock and a Hidden for the 2v2. And yeah, on the side of Josh, you already have Saikyu almost definitely taking Hard Rock, Xylus going to be taking Hidden. Both players very comfortable on those mods. I imagine if we see Zestash in the pool, he's going to take the Hidden here. And we'll see who's going to round out the Hard Rock for them.
I mean, if Raf G was around, I'd say him, but I don't think he's available here for Team True. So you see Desicate coming back in. He's coming back in here.
I think considering how he's been playing, definitely should have him on the majority of the maps here, and I assume we'll take the Hard Rock, because I do think Zestash will be more comfortable on the Hidden. This is going to be match point, so True's backs are against the wall for their chance to continue in this tourney.
Yep, They need a result here to keep their hopes alive here in SSOT this year. And putting it on aim is a bit of a spicy one in my opinion, but I suppose maybe look at the pool, maybe that's where I think the chances are lying. Like I say, it is gimmicky, and it does have some tricky little awkward aim patterns, like space triples, and it has like a jump scare tech section in right about 2/3 into it.
Yeah,
Goes
I think
sliders and Excel streams.
near the ending you have these really consistent space doubles, and I think regardless of which mod you go for here, it's going to be tough to hold on through those. The spacing with the hard rock on the space double is going to be brutal. The reading element with the AR9 hidden, it's going to make it tough. So I think getting an FC on this map is going to be a tall order for any player, but potentially see some big combos in the first 2/3.
Maybe it comes down to the consistency then. Because I mean, we've already seen that you hit one hard section and it's decided a couple of the maps here. No Welter to do that though for Team Jashin this time. I'm sure Psyche and Xylus will have something to say about that one.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're just waiting in the intro here. I think maybe somebody not skipping potentially. Oh, bit of a panic.
It's no skip Sunday.
No skip Sunday. Oh no. But I think the modded players are going to be as expected. Psyche and Desk going up against each other on the hard rock, and Xylus and Zestash going up against each other on the hidden. Which modded duo can outperform the other? It's only Zestash with an early miss, but so far looking relatively even.
Coming in now, a bit more that burst aim. No early breaks though on those first ones at least. So far so good first team.
A relatively short map as well. I mean, already see some scores almost reaching 300k. Oh, nobody missing on the reverse. Xylus finding a break though. Right after, matched by Zestash, that's both of the hidden players gone. It's now this hard rock 1v1. Psyche up against Desk. Desk breaking on the flame though, and Psyche holding through.
It's just Psyche now. Big chain miss there from Dasuk on that one. Oh, Psyche's through it. FC's the tech section.
Psyche is just such a beast on any kind of hard rock flow aim. It's going through those spaced bursts so comfortably. And I mean, with that, the score lead's already huge. Does find a break on the aim, but not too big recoveries here from True, especially with that break from Desk. It's only Zestash with any big combo, but I think for just the score lead, I don't know if there's any time for True to recover here.
And the combo he's had, it's gone now, so there really is it is job done. And fair play to Psyche there, hitting that tech section really well. Yeah, it came down to hitting that one spicy section, and there we go. Relatively close up to that point, though. But that is going to mean it is good game. GG, well played. And it's going to be Jashin that move on, and we're saying goodbye to True. They will take a point for their efforts, though. But this is the end of their run here in SSOT this year.
And I mean, other than the point they did win with that big combo from Desk on the hidden 2, I mean, you also had the No Mod 3 and the Hard Rock 3, I think, that were narrowly won by Jashin. So, I mean, on paper it's a 6-1, but there's a world where this goes, 6-3, maybe even more as the pool, as they would have had more chances to pick more maps. This could have been a lot closer had that No Mod 3 and Hard Rock 3 just leaned slightly in favor of True.
Yeah, they could have counted themselves unlucky on that one, especially on like the No Mod speed pick as well, where maybe you wouldn't have really favoured them. They were super close on it. So they made a bit of a fist of it. I guess sometimes the chips don't fall your way, but it's a very good effort. And they can take heart in that one against a very strong team. So seeing a team like Jashin in Loser's Bracket, I guess, shows how stacked this tournament is.
Yeah, there's some insane teams for Jashin to be seed 8, like with so many recognizable names. Yeah, it's definitely. going up against the loser of Chipi Chapa and Optimus Prime Rib. So I think regardless, I think it's going to be a very close losers matchup. I think one really solid team is going to go out in that match, whether it be Jashin or one of those two teams in the winners bracket. But obviously that won't be it for the matches today. We're going to take a pretty decent break. The next match is going to be at 16:30 UTC. And then after that, we're going to have a nice series of matches, a match at 17 and a match at 18, so 3 back-to-back banger matchups all in the winners bracket as well. We're going to have the first one being Scuffed Aim versus EMPATHS, followed by Suntan up against Grease Monkey, and then lastly Chipi Chapa versus Optimus Prime. So those are going to be the 3 matchups later today, so hold tight for them. But I think for now, I've been Vordy and he's been Doomsday.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure casting you again, Vordy. Thanks for hanging out with us.
It was a blast. Yeah,
thanks,
really enjoyed
thanks
it.
for watching, everyone. We will see you later on today for more SSOT. Yeah, see you then. Thanks for watching.
See ya.